Kendra G, first of all, she lies about her hair because she ain't got no hair, no edges. And then she lies about men and how she gets men. And I'm like, Kendra has been single.
As many of you know, Kendra G recently attended the STUNS Festival, where she was seen alongside a brother who goes by the name feuds. He's someone I've been following on social media for a while now, and I have to say, I really respect what he's doing. From what I know, he's from Philadelphia, and he's been making moves while building a name for himself. Big shout out to him because he's definitely putting in the work. He also has a compelling story, as I believe he previously spent time incarcerated before turning things around and pursuing a positive path. The situation becomes more interesting because Tasha K has never really been a fan of Kendra G, especially after the public back and forth they had about 2 years ago. Once Tasha K noticed this particular interaction, she had something to say about it. But before we get into Tasha K's comments, take a look at this.
That could be a challenge too, because we'll get women that literally do make $300,000, literally does have her own home. So now that's her requirement for a man. And then you know as a man, sometimes that man that matches her wage doesn't always select her in a romantic way.
For a woman that wants a high value man, a lot of those women are going to confuse leadership with control. He's going to come in and provide structure. And a lot of self-sufficient women refuse to acclimate when a man comes in that house and provides leadership.
Kendra G and feuds were discussing a topic that always sparks debate: what men want in relationships versus what women want in relationships. To be more specific, the conversation centered on Black people within a certain income bracket. Based on the viewpoints being shared, Kendra G was speaking from the perspective of a successful, high-earning Black woman, while feuds appeared to be representing the male perspective. Now, if you're going to position yourself as a relationship coach or expert, there should be certain qualifications. First, it helps if you're actually in a healthy relationship. Second, your own personal life should be able to withstand public scrutiny. In other words, you shouldn't be dealing with situations like the cheating allegations that surrounded Derrick Jackson in the past, nor should you face credibility issues like those involving Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, who was criticized over claims about her academic credentials. In my opinion, that may have even played a role in why she wasn't invited to this event. That was the main point being discussed. However, Tasha K decided to shift the conversation by bringing up this particular issue.
She made our tour. I had some information on her during our last tour, and I graced her. I gave her grace. I didn't want to put it out while she was with the scammer, you know? So I took it on tour. And so I saw her and Truth Hurts on the STUNS stage. I'm not gonna tell you what the comments were. It was a great thing. People from social media, even though she comes from radio, made the STUNS stage, but you know, I just wish that STUNS would just do a little bit more homework before they start putting these people in y'all face, because it says 1 million on Instagram, but when you look at the views, or the truth behind the views, like, it just doesn't make any sense.
One of the first points raised here is worth discussing because, to an extent, I understand the argument being made. If you visit Kendra G's YouTube channel, you'll see that she has around 1 million subscribers. However, the claim is that much of that audience has grown because of the guests and stories featured on her platform, rather than because viewers are tuning in specifically for Kendra G herself. From that perspective, some people argue the subscriber count doesn't always reflect the level of engagement across every video. If you compare the view counts on some of her shorts and long-form uploads, the performance can vary quite a bit. A big reason for that inconsistency is that the audience often depends on who's appearing on the show and what topic is being discussed. On the other hand, the argument is that someone like Tasha K tends to have more consistent viewership because her audience is primarily following her personality and commentary. That's the comparison being made. Critics believe Kendra G sometimes presents herself as if she's the main draw behind every piece of content, even though many viewers may be there for the guests. A similar comparison was also made to Anton Daniels. This isn't intended as disrespect toward Anton, but some critics argue that much of his content is built around reaction videos. Their point is that he often allows lengthy clips to play while reacting intermittently, meaning the original video carries much of the discussion. Because of that, they question whether his subscriber count, reported to be around 1.46 million, matches the engagement his videos typically receive. Many of his long-form uploads reportedly stay well below 200,000 or 300,000 views, and critics argue that's because much of the audience is there for the topics rather than for Anton himself. They make a similar observation about his Millionaire Morning Show, noting that live stream viewership generally remains far below his total subscriber count. From their perspective, the engagement doesn't always appear to match the size of the audience, whereas they believe Tasha K's numbers are more consistent. That leads into the second point, which was,
here, I'm like, first of all, Truth Hurts doesn't lead anyone. His wife does, okay? And his wife is the foundation of that home, and she pays for him and his lifestyle, as well as the hoes that he spends money on. You know, we actually have an interview. Jasmine, did we just run that trailer? We just ran that trailer? Yeah, the side chick. I ain't even put her name out. I ain't even put the chick name out. He said, when he said life was stupendous, I said, and the irony of you sitting up trying to give women advice on how they should be for men when you out here still cheating. That ain't no allegedly, y'all. This is no different than Fresh and Fit being on the Essence stage.
According to Tasha K, I Am Truth Hurts isn't really the type of man who fits the traditional provider image that many people associate with his public message. Now, I can't personally verify whether any of that is true because I don't know him. As I've said before, I've enjoyed a lot of the content he's put out. However, Tasha K claims she has receipts suggesting that he has been unfaithful to his wife. She also alleges that he's been using money from their business to spend on other women, and she says she has an upcoming interview with someone who plans to speak publicly about those accusations. Now, let me say this about brothers like him. Personally, I don't see him as someone who panders to one particular audience. From what I've observed, he comes across as someone who's willing to express whatever opinion he believes in, even if it divides people. That's just the impression I've gotten. At the same time, with a platform of that size and a reputation built around relationship advice, especially while being married, you're naturally going to attract a lot of attention and scrutiny. If any of these allegations were ever proven true, they could create major problems for someone working in the relationship space. I don't know what kind of understanding he and his wife may or may not have in their marriage, and that's their personal business. But when you're building relationships with major corporate brands and organizations, public perception becomes a significant factor. Events like the Essence Festival are part of that corporate environment. When you're working with brands such as BET, Ebony, Essence, and other organizations that carefully protect their public image, your personal conduct can have a direct impact on those opportunities. Whether there's an agreement within the marriage or not, public controversy can still become a serious issue. Then,
first of all, she lies about her hair because she ain't got no hair, no edges. And then she lies about men and how she gets men. And I'm like, Kendra has been single her entire life. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, they ain't put her on there just because for the simple fact, you know, of the doctor controversy. But had that doctor controversy never came out, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant would have been on that stage. As the program festival organizers, they look at the IG numbers and they say, oh, they got 1 million, so they'll sell tickets. I don't know a person in their right mind that's gonna take relationship advice from either one of these grifters. Now, Oprah done gave Kendra G a show to teach y'all how to get a man, but she ain't got no man yet.
The final criticism was directed at Kendra G personally, with Tasha K making remarks about her appearance, including comments about her being bald. In my opinion, that's not really an issue that matters. The more relevant point was Tasha K questioning why Kendra G is coaching women on relationships while also landing a show through Oprah's network. Here's how I look at it. In the entertainment industry, a lot of opportunities come down to networking, relationships, and knowing the right people. Social media numbers can certainly open doors, and having a large online presence can lead to partnerships and television deals, but eventually the work itself has to deliver results. If a series doesn't perform well, it can make it much harder to secure similar opportunities in the future. Based on what I've seen from Kendra G's dating platform and some of the feedback surrounding the app, I'm not sure how much investment is going into the overall brand, and I also don't know whether the audience is large enough to support a television show. Time will tell. Having impressive social media numbers doesn't automatically guarantee viewers will tune in, because online followers don't always translate into television audiences. If the show struggles, which is always a possibility with any new project, it could create challenges moving forward. The reality is that Black entertainment, like many other industries, can often be influenced by visibility, connections, and public recognition. From what I've observed, that's not unique to the United States. I've noticed similar patterns in Africa as well. Kendra G has clearly put in work to build her platform, and the same can be said for I Am Truth Hers. At the same time, critics argue that visibility and influence often play just as big a role as the actual content. Similar arguments have also been made about Anton Daniels and his approach to building an audience. As for I Am Truth Hers, I don't know him personally, so I can't speak beyond what I've seen publicly. From the content I've watched, he appears to be the most authentic of the group, but that's simply my impression. Ultimately, there's only so far someone can go by relying on image, hype, or inflated online perception. At some point, real performance and tangible results become the deciding factors, and that's when reputation alone is no longer enough.